You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach. Oh, Jess, hi.
Hello.
We've been together all day.
We have.
Change of plans, change of scenery.
Twice.
Not that the audio listeners can hear, but
Thanks for pointing that out this time.
we have our fair share of TikTokers. We have a fair share of YouTubers.
Tubers.
On the tube.
Yeah.
Sorry we keep changing backgrounds for you, but I think this is the move now.
This is the move, but we are coming at you live from Rach's space.
Adult space.
Gather Akron, a co-working studio space. And I think we're going to make this our new home.
Yes, because Jess is going to come work here a couple days a week. And instead of like kind of carving out the middle of the day and the middle of the week, just do an evening.
We're just going to make it work
Yeah.
here. And it's perfect for it. So,
And it's much cleaner here.
but
than
we're
my
always
house.
coming at you, not live, but,
but
we're coming at you from Rachel something or another.
I came at you live once from yours.
Oh, that's true.
So no fear, guys. We out
here.
here rocking and rolling, starting new businesses, and making good use out of the rent we pay here.
Exactly. We love it.
Jess, how's your week been? How's your weekend?
Week was good. Weekend was good. I shot my first wedding of the season. I know I talked about that last week of being highly anticipated and getting myself into that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It was a shit show for me, but for no one else. Like, it was great. Everything went smoothly.
Just an awakening.
Just an awakening for me and my...
Shock to the system.
A shock to the system,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
Was what it was. Just a lot of bumps in the road that I made sure nobody knew about. But for me, a little panic happened. I mean, I had a camera malfunction at the most important part of the day. That in itself could cause someone to fucking spiral. But
yeah. You remain calm.
I remained calm, and
you handled your shit, Jess, like a true profesh.
I did.
Year
and
3?
I will.
Is this year 3? This is what year 3 brings.
Is it year 3?
Yeah.
I guess if I technically started 2018. You
saw your fair share of shit shows in 2018. I was there for them.
I ain't afraid of them.
Yeah.
But
I started you off hot.
Yeah.
I didn't start you off with the cookie cutters. I started you off with the
the
rainy backyards, thunderstorm,
bringing a cake in the middle of the fucking reception. Here I come.
We
up
out
a hill.
here.
Exactly. So I was prepared, sort of. I just had like first wedding jitters.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It was just first of the season. We have like an off season of a few months. So coming back, we hit it hard. We hit the ground running.
This year was really weird for me because I had a wedding in February.
Yeah, you did.
Wedding in March.
You started early.
Wedding in April.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've had 2 weddings in May.
Mm-hmm.
So next week will be my 6th wedding of the year.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, you're like already in it. You're almost
I'm
done.
in it. Yeah. I'm not. Nope. Unfortunately, I've got 6 weddings in June. So if you need me, I will not be here.
She will not be available.
Yeah. Luckily, we did record some episodes with my sister when she was in town.
Then we're going to plug when we need it.
We'll plug when we need. I think it's a great episode. I don't know. I blacked out for it as usual and haven't edited it yet. So hopefully there's some little snippets of wisdom in there for you.
Snips of whiz.
We got Megan McCool on the mic, my sister's friend Megan, talking about grad school life. So
good. Could be relatable to some.
Exactly. And we're just trying to be relatable to some.
That is all we care about.
Just relatable to some of you.
Speaking of relatable, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And it started with things I started thinking that like there's this trend going around, like things that you think are embarrassing for no reason. So I just started like thinking of stuff on my own. But I have one that I thought of that I'm not really embarrassed of, but it's just like maybe some people do, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
But do you run the water when you pee in public restrooms?
No, not in public restrooms.
But
if I'm in someone's house.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If I'm alone with someone in their house, like even like yesterday, my dad. So my parents got divorced when I was 14, and I've never spent the night at my dad's house. They just like did not see the need for that because I was in high school. My dad didn't live. My dad like they was just like, why would Rachel sleep at Larry's house? It wasn't important to my dad. Wasn't important to me. And so it's like I had to let him into his house. He locked himself out. So went over there like 7 a.m. Why my dad was outside of his house at 7 a.m.
Bird watching.
Just a quick trip to Mark's. Why Mark's is open that early? We don't know. But I had to do my morning poop. And so I turned on the fan and the water.
Do you do it when you poop and pee or no matter what? If it's like you in a house with somebody or...
I definitely did it at Kat's house the other day. I was just peeing and I was like, it's just too serious. It's like one-on-one.
It's 100%, 100 out of 100 trials. I will turn the water on no matter what. If it's like available, like public restroom, if I'm in a stall, like I'm obviously not going to let the water run.
Right.
Right. That's weird. But 10 out of 10 times I will be. It's a situation when I was at work. And it's like the restroom is right by like this common area that everyone was in.
Yeah.
And like it's the morning. The only thing that I've had is coffee.
Yeah, we need some audio confusion. They know what you're doing in there. You know what you're doing in there. But
a loud fan will do me in.
I know. And what I'm discovering is they don't put loud fans in houses anymore. And it's like I would like a fan when I buy a house. I'd like a fan from 1983. I like to put that in my bathroom because it's got to drown out all the sound.
I just want to make something that's like boom, music goes on, or just this like white noise effect.
Yes,
and it's not even about to tear it up. I literally
music.
Just need a white. I just would rather not have people like listen
to tear it up.
I'm not
the velocity of your pee is not.
It could be just the pee too. I'm like, I just don't want anybody here, and it's also like everyone farts before they pee, so just a little poof situation. Everyone's got it. It's fine, but it's like no one wants to hear that.
Yeah, I'm definitely more into putting white noise, water, or whatever on in a house with someone.
As an option. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that.
But if I'm in a public restroom next to other people peeing, it's like we're all doing our business here. We've all agreed. We'd all agreed.
Yeah, it is what it is, and may the odds be in your favor.
Yeah. May the velocity of your pee be satisfactory to you.
That's funny. Okay, but I think though I saw this go around, but the one thing I think goes down as the most embarrassing for me, and I barely get embarrassed, but this one really, really irks me is when you make that walk back after you just bowled. Like you're bowling and you have to walk for some reason. That's so awkward because you've already watched it hit the pins, and so it's like not my turn anymore.
When everybody's looking at you, you got to make a move.
But it's also
you got to do a shrug. You got to be like, ugh.
Everyone does some awkward hand gesture, like look it up, or like put the peace sign, or like or like a classic.
I want to see what is Joe's go-to walk away bowling move. What do you think?
I don't know.
He just hit some pins, but not all the pins he would like.
Hand through the hair. Hand through if it's stressful, and if we're playing with his brothers, the competition is
too hard.
Is too high. Hot. The heat is on.
Oh,
that's what I think. What do you think Josh's would be?
I
think he'd be like, try my best.
A bit of a shrug. Bit of a shrug. And then he'd throw it to someone else, like your turn, King. He'd hype whoever else was up.
Yeah, you're right.
He'd be like, your turn.
Like, all right, beat that.
He'd take the attention off himself almost immediately.
Yeah.
He'd want the attention at first, and then he'd immediately pass it.
Yes.
To a friend.
That's pretty accurate.
But glad you brought that up. That's a good talking point.
Mm-hmm.
Something very exciting happened to me. Yesterday. Not to brag. And honestly, it was just exciting, thrilling. I was in the Home Depot wearing another tube top situation. Shoulders are out, but I am wearing a long, what does Madison call them? They're like they're like blanket sweaters. I don't know. There's something. They're long sweaters.
Sounds pretty standard to me.
She worked at American Eagle, so she's got all the names for things. But so very long, basically down my ankle sweater. Just, I'm assuming pants. Yes, I was wearing pants. And
I hope.
I'm just walking the aisles. I needed to copy some keys for the space. Clavicle out, a little bit of shoulder out, walking, doing my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, a man approaches me and just kind of like he was like right where I was looking at some stuff. And he's just kind of casually was like, oh, how are you doing today? And I was like, oh, good. Yeah. How are you? He's like, good. And then he kind of starts walking with me or it didn't seem awkward or weird. But then he was like, you look very nice today. I said, you've never seen me any other day, but thank you.
You said that to him?
No.
Oh. No, but you felt flattered.
But I was like, thank you. It's so nice of you. Hype me up. And then I start walking away, and I could tell like he was like trying to build up the courage to say something. He's like, excuse me, I'm really sorry. Would you like to go out to dinner with me sometime? I wasn't even wearing makeup. Oh. My shoulders were doing the work for me.
At Home Depot.
At Home Depot.
He wanted the Home Depot.
He wanted me to do home improvement.
Oh my. So what did you say?
I said, wow. I said, this is so nice. Such a surprise. Thank you so much for asking. I am in a committed partnership, but I want to thank you for doing that. No one's ever asked me out before. Very sweet. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, it wasn't threatening. It wasn't weird. I didn't feel like followed. It was just like, I wanted to hype him up. I wanted to make him sure he knew. Like, that was cool, dude. I was really cool with what happened.
Do more of that.
Yeah, because how are you supposed to meet people? You know?
I respect that approach.
You could meet the love of your life at the Home Depot. I didn't. I met the love of my life at my high school. But these shoulders,
they were working it.
Immediately texted Josh because I was like, I am hot today. I'm
today.
hot in the shoulder game. I had to wear another tube top.
Yeah,
today,
it looks good.
Josh said something to me today. He's like, I forget what he said. He said some sports term, I think, about like being heating up or something like that. I was like, you're right. I'm not going to give up these shoulders now. They've been working so hard for me.
I'm just thinking about another embarrassing situation. It's when you say like bye to someone or like you talk to someone, you're like walking the same way as them.
Yeah, it is.
So
weird.
I'm thinking about that in that scenario, being like, hey, you know, you look nice today, and you're like, same. Let's walk the same way.
Yeah.
But I think he was just like,
he was gauging my like
strategizing.
He's gauging my energy, and immediately he was like, you know, when I said, no, I'm sorry, like I'm in a committed relationship, he was like, oh, okay, no problem. Have a wonderful day.
Would you have dated him? Was he a good looking guy?
Yeah, he was a good looking guy. Traditionally good looking, was wearing a mask in the Home Depot, which, you know,
Democrat.
And I get hard for some Democrats, I'll tell you that.
That's what does it for you.
That's what does it for me.
It's the mask for me.
It's a mask.
It's the mask when the mandate's over for me.
But it's really just like code. At this point, it's code.
Oh, it's straight code.
It's code.
And there's a new code. It's like, because it's over, right? Mask mandate, it's over.
In Ohio.
Like, yeah. And so it's like Republicans are just putting it in their pocket or not wearing it at all, but it's around the wrist for the Democrats.
Oh, I've been doing that.
Because it's like, I need it if I need it, or if you're unvaccinated, like I got you, but it's like, if you don't have to wear it, or it's just wearing it in general.
Good to know.
Okay. So what about you, Rach? We talked about me. How was your week? How was your weekend?
Jess, I just told you about my shoulder story. My shoulder's been working overtime.
But I know we have a Josh story.
Oh, well, really, we have a new Josh segment. And Jess, I hope this inspires you. If you feel like anything comes up, I'm now starting a new segment called Funny Shit Josh Says throughout the week, because I am dating a real life Nick Miller.
Ooh.
And it's absolutely the best. And just he's been on fire lately, or maybe I finally come up for air from drowning in work, and I'm like actually paying attention to him. So the other night we were getting ready for bed, and I can't find my phone. I just said, hey Josh, can you call my phone? He said, hang on, babe, I have to find out Aaron Carter's net worth.
Dead ass.
He was very serious. He needed to find out Aaron Carter's net worth at that moment.
Do we know Aaron Carter's net worth?
He's like, I think it's about 400,000, but I think they're being generous.
Yeah, that's low. Oh, he's lost it.
He's lost it all.
He's off his rails.
Yeah, he was like, Josh was like, he might own some property, but I don't know. I think they're being generous.
Josh was serious.
He wanted to
Did he look it up after those crazy TikToks that came out about him?
I guess.
All this news
I'm not on that side of TikTok, but yeah, I'm sure it was relevant to that.
Josh and I obviously have the same algorithm.
Yeah, Aaron Carter didn't just come up on his Spotify suggestions.
Yeah, I doubt that.
What else? MRSA, the pirate disease, I think.
What?
Yep. And then we were driving, and there was a girl in front of us, and he said, "Slow down, Miss Congeniality."
Oh, that's funny.
That one really got me. And then to round out this week's, dick bumping. It's a bro thing. You wouldn't get it.
Dick what?
Dick bumping.
Bumping dicks?
Bumping dicks. We wouldn't get it.
Oh, we don't. It's a guy thing. Well,
but
someone enlighten us because confused.
I believe he was very drunk, and I just believe there was some light dick bumping going on at a fire that he was at. And that, I think that's the end of the story. I don't know if there was a point to it, if there's a game about it. I don't know if there's a point system. But
if you bump dicks, like, is it an accident when it happens? It's like, well, we bumped dicks.
No. I think it was intentional dick bumping.
I don't know what guys do.
I don't.
But I also heard that it was actually a pretty here we go. Period starts in a week, so this explains a little bit.
Did your brain fall off?
No, it's just a natural occurrence that guys would jerk off together, like a jerk circle.
Oh, as kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that. And I think it was just like kind of normal for guys to like watch porn together. I've heard that, which I never really understood fully, because you just want to get hard together. You're telling me there's no release of that? Like, you're just like, I feel like they were only fessing up to half of it. Like, you're watching porn together, but you're not.
But that's what I'm saying is I think that they didn't tell us the second half.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he was jacking off with his friends.
No, but not what I'm saying. Yeah. But just kind of led me to there, so I just kind of
want to clear that up. I don't want Josh to think that there was any foul play.
Unrelated to the dick bumping of Josh.
Yeah.
But just a thought.
Yeah. Do we have any DMs that we
do?
To read?
Yeah, we do. Let's bring those up.
You know, we like to answer the questions.
We do. We appreciate them. Keep them coming. Okay. Here's one that I just have to bring up because it was related to a previous episode. Okay. And we're just going to clear the air. Clearing the air here. Listening to your podcast about dogs being in heat, and I want to say that I have to, Rach, that my family are dog breeders / dog trainers, and yes, male dogs will come in hot for females in heat. And yes, through a fence could be possible.
Oh my
Joe
God.
McAleese, that's for you.
Chain link got nutting on them nuts.
And who cares? Okay, it could be possible because dogs go butt to butt, ass to ass. Like I said, thank you.
But I've had other people comment on they don't instigate ass to ass. They instigate hump style.
I told you it's mount, turn, butt to butt. And I've confirmed this isn't the only ass to ass confirmation.
Jess, I've heard that it's ass to ass, but I've heard it's more of like a swollen knot situation. The dick is swollen, stuck in there. I apologize for the graphic nature of this episode.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Tone it back.
Okay.
Anyways, I just want to say thank you for confirming. I've heard this from more than one person. Thank you. And it's also, I know people out there who actually have benefited from this knowledge, who didn't know anything about dogs going into heat.
Yeah, neuter and spay your animals just like as soon as you can.
No, but not as soon as you can.
Oh, yeah, I guess because the new research has come out.
The new research is we let our female dogs go into heat for one cycle. This helps their organs and everything mature and develop properly before we undergo this surgery for them.
Okay.
So any heat questions, we got them. We'll answer them.
I know Barley definitely had gone through heat. I just didn't go through it with her.
Yeah.
Because I got her at 1. So I just.
But we're happy to enlighten you on the experience because there's not much out there on the internet. I mean, they're horror stories. So I got you. I got the diapers if you need some. Okay. Another one. Jess and Rach. First of all, I love your podcast. I feel like y'all are my girlfriends that I've known for years. I was hoping y'all could give me some advice on my relationship. I'm madly in love with my boyfriend. I've never felt this way about anyone. We've been together nearly a year, and I'm starting to feel like he's not as invested in our relationship as he once was. He's not doing things he used to in the first couple of months we were together. I know there's a honeymoon phase, but it worries me that he will slowly lose interest and not want to be with me anymore. Any advice on how I could bring this up to him? Things I could do to spark the interest back in him? Thank you so much.
Jess and I, when we were going over like things to talk about this episode, we both started talking about this DM and immediately took it different ways.
And then we paused each
we were
other
like,
and said, wait, just save it.
Save it for the pod. Save it for the record.
So I hear you. But I do feel like the dynamic will change after honeymoon phase. I do believe there is a honeymoon phase. And it just changes things into like, he's becoming more comfortable, you're becoming more comfortable, and that's okay. But there are ways, like, if you really do feel like it's interest that is lacking, like you definitely should bring it up and talk about it.
I think there's a difference between settling in and disinterest.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, like when Josh and I think sex is like a telltale sign. You know, if you first start dating, you might be having sex. Josh and I had sex like 5 times a week when we first started dating. It was outrage. But then things settled in, and now we're at a more respectable, normal life giving. It doesn't mean we're not interested in each other. It just means we're settling into our schedules, settling into our time. But disinterest is like if he used to find interest in your hobbies and talking to you about your hobbies, and now he doesn't want to do those things, that is disinterest, and that is a bit of a red flag.
Sure.
But I think the growing together thing normally like happens together, that like settling in. It's like, okay, maybe we don't need to spend every single Saturday together if I want to hang out with my girlfriends. Maybe we don't, it's like, it should feel mutual. I think like in a healthy relationship, it should feel like a mutual thing to like, okay, we know our time together is not limited. We're good.
But sometimes it's not mutual though, because I feel like one person can get used to it. Like Joe was a gift giver in the beginning, like hella gifts. And not that I wanted them, but like the gifts just kind of slowly stopped. But that was okay.
Isn't it really weird how we're just fucking animals? Like, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
He's just like a little squirrel bringing you nuts to show you. Like, he can burst. Here you go. Keep me around. Here you go.
But that wasn't what kept me around.
But this is just human nature shit. It's like, I'll give you something shiny. Will you keep me?
Yeah.
It's
and then you're
what?
like, yes, I will. Yes, I will. And then when the nuts stop coming, you're like, you start to think like, why are they not coming? But no, like there was no, I knew that there was I knew it was happening when it was happening.
But other things were being added to your relationship.
Right.
You moved in together, you took other first steps.
Right.
So I think it's a matter of like, take a step back and see like, are you guys growing together big picture, or are things,
I think
it's okay to have that conversation. Like, are things fizzling out? How are you feeling?
Yeah, like
check
in. And then even if he's like, no, like things are just kind of been steady, and you'd be like, cool, like what is, and if you're lacking in that or feeling that disinterest, you'd be like, what can we do to kind of spice things up? Like, should we, you plan a date night and every other Saturday and I'll do another, you know what I mean? Kind of think of ways that you feel like it would spark it back up. I feel like would be helpful.
Something Josh and I wanted to do at the beginning of this year but never did was like, and I think we should do this because I think being intentional with your partner is one of the most important things that you can be. Like being intentional about the time you spend together, the quality of time you're spending together. So Josh and I had this idea to like go on more dates, right? And then I had the thought like, well, what if we traded off every other month? So like I plan a date for May, you plan a date for June, I plan a date for July.
Yeah, we started
and we just
that
like I know. We just like surprise each other with the date. So you don't, it's not like you get to Saturday and it's like, oh, what should we do on Saturday? It's like you plan a date. So we just have, because really like realistically, I only have one probably weekend day a month to be fully invested in like a day of day off. And so I think it would be really special to take that intentional time together because life's fucking short.
Yeah.
Spend intentional time together, have a good time, like, and honestly, if you think of something fun to do together, do it.
Right. And the summer's coming up, so concerts are open.
Yeah.
Plan some shit. And then even if it's like you feel like it's disinterest from him, do that. Be like, hey, you want to take turns planning a date night like once a month?
Yeah.
Be like, you plan it. I know nothing about it.
Yeah. And if they don't want to plan it, dud city. Okay. Maybe he's just dudding out. Maybe he's just Dudley Dursey over here.
Well, maybe he's not.
I don't know. I'm on team all men are duds most of the time. So, Jess will advocate for the men, but I'm like, men are trash.
Not all men.
But, yeah, ew, Jess. Don't be a not all men are. Ew.
I'm thinking of like that TikTok. But when he loves me, I feel like I'm floating with... Whatever.
Do you know what I saw on TikTok?
What?
So you know that slow song?
Which one?
That but when he loves me.
Yeah.
It's just a recreation of but when he loves me I feel there's like this rock version of it that was popular on TikTok.
I've only heard the slow.
Right. But it's like we can't even, our ears are stupid. Because I remember seeing this TikTok and I was like, that's just a cover of that popular song. But the popular song was so fast that like, Also, there's some heavy drumming going on, and I'm really hoping.
I'm hoping the mics pick it up because when he loves me. Okay, this is the last DM.
Okay.
Jess and Rach. I feel like rereading the same one. Classic. Okay. Another hot topic is dating again. I recently went on a date. It did not go well. He seemed to have so many great qualities my ex did not. Communication, feeling safe and heard, seemed to choose his partner first. And one of the reasons it didn't go well was because I was so focused on those things, I forgot to have fun, which was something I realized I missed so much from the ex. He was also talking about his ex nonstop on the date. Red flag. Yeah. Ended up playing FBI agent on him after that and found out he's a cheater and was mentally and physically abusive. But bottom line, I forgot to have fun. Any advice for getting back out there or even talking about the past with that next guy, getting comfortable having to bring it up?
I am personally, I mean, obviously with this person, it was not a safe space. But in general, I am on team be open. I think if they're the right person, you won't feel uncomfortable being open. I don't think like be open on your first date while you're like eating your like Bloomin Onion, but like
first off, if he takes you to Outback for a Bloomin Onion, red flag. Are you kidding? Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. No. I'm like, okay. Hey, not the snort. Not the fucking snort.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. We didn't even plan that at all.
So anyways, different ideas on romance.
Right. Okay. Yes, I am team open.
Yeah.
Open communication. And also like, yeah, like don't bombard him with or her with.
Your priority on your first date should be getting to know each other's interests.
Save
families, maybe like where they came from, like seeing if at a base level interest you're compatible.
But like, what do you think as like what she asked was like, I'm so hyper focused on these traits that I think are important that I'm not even enjoying as company.
Yeah.
You know, like what can she do or what are some things? Drink alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol can be loosen up if that's your thing. I think.
But I think after this
doing an activity. I think if you are so hyper focused on like a dinner or drinks, fucking go rollerblading. Like do something that's actually going to show you how they handle even like a lighthearted situation. Like for me, like a big thing was like how respectful are they to strangers? I think that's something that's really important to me. And so like, you know, seeing that Josh is the kind of person that like says, hey buddy, to some stranger on the street, or how are you doing, or holding doors open for people. Like if you want to see if you want to see someone's character traits, put them in a place that they're going to have to show them.
Right. Like go bowling and tell us what his walk back looks like. Because that is how you know. It's telling of a person. But no, seriously, that's a good tip, Rach. I feel like doing activities.
Yeah. Like go to the axe throwing bar.
Yeah, put the pressure so much of like sitting and taking, but it's also like
because if you feel like you're an interviewer, take yourself out of that place so you can have
go for
fun.
a walk, do something, and just I don't know. I feel like after you having this experience, you'll be more conscious of it next time. To be like, okay, it's just the first date, you know. And first date, there's a lot, right? There's a lot to take in, but it's also like my first date with a lot of people was never a true reflection of who I really was. You know, you're putting on huge fronts, so take that into account and just remember that it's a free date. It's a free day.
And dating is really weird, but something that's always worked for me is just showing a little bit of shoulder at the Home Depot.
That's what we do. That is funny. You brought that full circle.
Oh my God. What an intro, guys.
Yeah. Hang in there, you guys dating out there. I know it ain't easy. It's so weird now.
It's so weird. It really is. It's a weird time. But speaking of dating, speaking of love, do we have the episode for you? Okay. I honestly don't think I've ever been so excited for an episode.
Rachel's so excited about this.
So hype on this. So feeling this. I feel like I was born for it.
She could have been. She's been ready.
The meat of today's episode
the meat
is our first ever. I think we will do more of these. An album review.
Let's go with the album reviews.
None other than pinnacle of what do we call it? So society relevance. There was a word there.
Culture?
Yes. Culture. No. Pop culture.
Pop culture.
There we go. Pinnacle of pop culture. Olivia Rodrigo's Sour. No notes for this album, except a lot of notes. No critiques, no criticisms.
No, I mean we will give you our opinions. But we are doing a deep dive.
We are doing a deep dive. Because really what we're talking about, the crux, is young love. First love. Oh, and this album is just like ripping out a heart, putting it on the table, and just seeing the intensity of young love. Young love is just everywhere, right? Like growing up, The Notebook, Fault in Our Stars, Dear John. And all these stories are about teenagers written by adults.
But why is it timeless? Because we've gone through it.
Yes.
And there's something different about this album that I want to point out, that it's very raw, it's very real, and it's very much about young love, first love, heartbreak, teenage angst. We've all been through it. But also when you've aged out, this can become irrelevant, kind of annoying, non-relatable. But this album,
it's timeless.
It is so bizarre because usually I don't care for this stuff. I mean, I do. I love all of the YA community literature.
You love the YA community?
The young adults
community.
The literature, the movies. My friend Danielle knows. We're into it.
I'm slapping the sticker. I'm putting the Chug sticker right on you.
Call me a Chug.
With a young adult community.
This is literally the worst insult you can give me. You know I hate that shit. Anyways, wearing my Chug badge in this. But I am into it. But for some reason, this album really does. It's something, there's something nostalgic about it. That you can really feel the things that she's feeling.
Oh, so deeply. And what's really weird for me, like my love for this album is very interesting, because I've never been broken up with. It's not that I can't relate in some aspects.
But you can't relate to this.
I can't relate.
You've had your heart broken like this?
I have had my heart broken.
You've never seen him happier with somebody else and you're pissed about it?
No, but I am upset. Like I feel upset. Like that's what I mean. This album, it's bridging barriers. Get Olivia on all of the world's problems because she will solve them.
Yeah, thank you, Olivia, for reading my fucking journal in high school and ripping it wide open and singing all about it. Because that's all. Yeah, that's all I had. I was gonna.
Oh my God, sorry. I just felt like I was like, we are literally gonna go song for song, share our favorite lyric, debrief it, go through it, and hopefully it's an interesting enough episode for you guys.
First, can I talk about the name of the album, Sour?
Yeah.
I think what I've read is a Sour Patch innuendo. First sour, then sweet.
Okay. And also Sour Patch did has like an Olivia Rodrigo run, like a line.
But I think that's what it stemmed from. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting to have an album that's like the title is unrelated to like any song.
But I mean, sour. I mean, she's bitter, a little bitter, right?
We're bitter.
We are.
We as a community, the YA community, are bitter.
But I don't know. I'm here for the album. I'm here for the Joan Jett meets Billie Eilish meets Alanis Morissette vibes.
The Alanis Morissette moments are important.
They are important. And that they're important because that's why us Choogs, millennials, really, really identify.
Yes.
Because that's what we grew up on. So it's like when we hear that, this album is musical, mature.
Which is what I really enjoy about it.
It's mature.
I need some more wine. Do we have any more?
Sure do.
I got to get into this. One of the nice things of talking about young love, breakups, all that, when you're over the age of 21 is you can drink.
So
sorry for all of you that might be under the age of 21 that are dealing with heartbreak without alcohol. But honestly, probably stems somewhere. Kids that are struggling and going through a breakup, they don't just get to go to the bar and drink it away. They got to sit in their rooms and think.
And hide it. Oh.
Yeah.
Because that's what we did on Friday nights. We actually went as far as, I remember we sent this group of guy friends that we had, found out that they can get beer from a house across town. And we didn't have a car.
The house was just an underage drinking mecca?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so they ran to go get this beer across town and ran and brought it back, snuck through the window of our friend's house. And we drank Bud Heavies all night.
Ooh.
Bud Heaves.
Puked
all night. Teenage angst. Love it. Memories.
Yes. Well, speaking of teenage angst, the album starts off with a little number called Brutal, which some people
is actually one of my faves.
Oh, yeah. Some people don't fully appreciate. I played this song for Josh, banging on the steering wheel. And he was like, this is the vibe of this album. I said, no, Josh, it's the vibe of the intro. Okay. It sets the tone for teenage angst, who she is as a person, the culture she's coming from, the society she lives in. Okay. It's setting the tone. It won't stay here, but I'm glad it starts here.
Me too. That was good. It doesn't stay there, which surprises you.
It surprises you. When I put the album on, I gave it a full car listen to start.
You know, I full car listened on my way here, and that's why I'm able to talk about it now.
I was just smiling listening to this song because I was like, this is so fucking cool.
She's like, it's brutal out there. Oh my God, I love that.
So, Song So Brutal, the lyric I wanted to touch upon is,
let's go.
And I'm so tired that I might quit my job, start a new life, and they'd all be so disappointed because who am I if not exploited? Mm-hmm. And it's pressing on her personal experience, right? Of like, if you guys don't know who Olivia Rodrigo is, I didn't know who she was before like TikTok and this breakup went viral, but she is on like the remaking the TV version of High School Musical, and her co-star on that is the boy that she was dating and then broke up with, and he started dating someone else who, like, this girl was his friend and they were, you know, quote unquote just friends, but as soon as Olivia and him broke up, he started dating this girl, and it just leaves Olivia to be like, wow. But being a teenage star, being in the light, not that like I'm going to like cry for rich people, but it is a very unique experience. And I think like Justin Bieber's song Lonely this year, like that when that came out, it was like, wow, like you have a very unique experience that very few people can relate to. And like literally Olivia Rodrigo, like even in this whole thing, like her whole life experience is exploited for monetary gain.
Yep.
And until she turned 18, like last month or whenever, it wasn't even her money to have. Like, you know, like it wasn't. It's a very weird culture of being a teen star. And I think that's why we find that not a lot of people make it through teen stardom. without serious addictions and issues.
Yeah.
So I love that that's the first song because I think it sets the tone for her and like who she is, where she's coming from, but also relates it right back to just like being a teenager.
Oh, that's good. I never thought of it like that. But it is. But it's like they are exploited. But she's like, who am I if I'm not exploited?
Yeah.
Because this is I am under the spotlight at all times. And that's really interesting too. And like you said, Justin Bieber and Billie Eilish now.
Ooh, yeah.
Coming up in stardom and just having like a pretty normal, chill life.
Yeah.
And if you watch her documentary, which is on Apple TV, you get a real glimpse into that.
Yeah.
And I think we all think like, oh, you know, who cares? You're rich and you're famous. Like, I don't think that's all that they really care about.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, they're actually working for a goal. And
right.
It's not to be famous. It's to be successful at what they're doing. Yeah. I think they bust ass. And I think that we just don't give them enough credit for that. And I think that we're like, we don't have sympathy because they're rich and they're famous. But it's like, I don't think that is the pinnacle of their life and their success. So, good point.
I also wanted to point out, like, as we're talking about Olivia and Joshua and like how I don't know. I haven't been on the side of the internet that's like, I mean, obviously there have been TikToks about like, whoever hurt Olivia, I'll punch him sight on sight.
But also thank you for being that muse.
Yeah. Like,
thank you to Joe Jonas, Taylor Swift.
Like you can honor both things. Like, right? Like Joshua had a right to fall in love with someone else or whatever his story is, because I don't care. I care about Olivia. I care about what she's going through.
We're obsessed.
I am. I've never understood Swifties until now.
Hey, listen, I just want to bring that up too. I'm like, is Olivia the Gen Z Taylor Swift?
And
Swifties are going to come for us, and we apologize.
I'm sorry. I was too deeply rooted in misogyny to be a true Taylor Swift fan. I am now a woke feminist, and I'm here for Olivia. Okay. I will follow her anywhere. I will read her clues. I will dissect every little detail, every tweet for her, because I'm obsessed with her. But I think another like big celebrity couple that went through quite a bit of strain and stress would be the Justin and Selena breakup.
I'm so bitter about that. It's bad. Yeah. I think,
but it's like, you're happy for Justin. He wrote a banging album about Haley. You're still sad for Selena. You can be both.
The fact that, can we talk about this? We're really diving deep into this. The fact that Selena doesn't hide that she was broken by that is so dope to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I always thought of Selena as this really humble, genuine human. And the fact that she was never bashed him.
No.
If she would be honest, if people talked about it, she tried to keep it out, but obviously it was inevitable.
Obviously it can't be out. Obviously everyone knows. We are random strangers talking about them on a podcast like we fucking know them.
I know. So we don't know all. But anyways, I just want to say that I feel like Selena made it public that she was like openly hurting about it, and I thought that was dope.
We love a bit of vulnerability.
We do.
All right, Jess.
What's up next?
Traitor. Your time.
Traitor. One of my favorites on the album. I'm going to say that about everyone. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. It's literally the chorus, which is something I barely do. It's like barely my favorite lyric, but I just think it hits. I think it hits home. It took you 2 weeks to go off and date her, but guess you didn't cheat, but you're still a traitor. I mean, can you think of a more subtle dig?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like a hit him where it hurt with a kiss.
Saying like, technically you didn't cheat.
But you're a straight up traitor. Like, this guy thinks he came off good. I broke up with you. I did what I was supposed to do. And then I dated someone else. I'm off the hook.
Immediately.
No. You're a traitor. You're even worse. I don't know, something about that just like did that name,
because
traitor.
It establishes like it wasn't just like there was a friendship there. There was a loyalty there to begin with.
And now there's not.
Now that
you betrayed me.
Because you lied to her.
You broke her heart. And we are upset.
Fucking hate you.
We're upset.
I'd be nice to you if I saw you, but honestly, you're dead
I just think that song speaks for itself. I mean, there's great lyrics in it, but I do think that it's like,
it hits hard.
It hits home.
It hits home.
I'm traded.
We love it. Okay. Number 3, a song we all know, And we all love, despite if you want to be a hater, potato, driver's license. Third on the docket. Okay. And this one also.
Wait. Go ahead.
You got to say it.
No.
Okay.
I want to hear.
So this is the lines we all know. Red lights, stop signs. I still see your face in the white cars in the front yards. I can't drive past the places we used to go to because I still fucking love you.
How do you say that without saying red lights? You have to scream
you just
it.
Have to. I know. But we all fucking do this. After I broke up with my high school boyfriend, I just remember like constantly on high alert for a red Bravada anywhere. You know what I mean? And then like it was just that car. Like I was just like,
drove a red Grand Am. And I was my head was on a swivel at all times driving. I'm like, where you at? But then he totaled the car, like non-tragically, but the car got totaled. And I remember telling my friend, I'm like, don't you fucking dare tell me what kind of car he drives. I don't want to know. Yeah,
I don't want to know.
Tell me.
I don't want to have ghost cars following me.
There's so many things I want to say about this. First off, me and my friends drove past our boyfriends, crushes, houses endlessly in high school. I don't care if you're listening to it now. Could have been a stock situation, but we did it always. Okay?
It's exciting.
Sorry about it. It was fun. We had our driver's license. We were living it up. Another story about this is really funny. So I was telling Joe that this song was taking the world by storm. It's when it first got released. Everyone's freaking out about Olivia. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's all over TikTok. And I told Joe about it. And we were driving from my parents' house in Brunswick back home. Mm-hmm. Brunswick's where I grew up. Brunswick's where I met my first love. And so, and Joe's familiar with my first love, my first relationship or whatever. And so.
Bit of a saga.
But we talk about it. We're open about it. And we were driving back home, and I'm like, listen to this song. You really just have to listen to it. And Joe, we get to this part, like, red lights. And Joe is feeling it, right? He rolls down the window. He's like, he goes, changes lanes to get off the highway. He's like, Jimmy, buddy, she's coming for you. She misses you. I'm dropping her off at your house. He yells this out the window. I was laughing so fucking hard. I was like, oh my God. And Jimmy was the name of my first boyfriend at the time. And we were just laughing hysterically, like, Jimmy, buddy, she's coming for you. She messed up. It was just so funny.
Jimmy doesn't get a rebrand. Jimmy gets his OG name. He knows who he is.
Yeah. He knows. Oh, I should have.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, at this point.
I've been saying my high school sweetheart's name. Mm-hmm. His name's Ryan. I don't got bad shit to say.
It's funny. It
just is what it is.
Okay,
Jess. Number 4.
Which is?
1 step forward, 3 steps back.
Speaking of, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. She going for it. No. This is my favorite on the album.
Is it?
It is my favorite. So here is some of the lyrics that I chose for this. Maybe in some fun masochistic way, I kind of find it all exciting. Like, which lover will I get today? Mm-hmm. Will you walk me to the door or send me home crying? But like, young love was like that though.
Yeah.
Like it was so passionate, right? It was so like, I mean, do you love me? Do you hate me? You know, which is it? Like, and then in some way you found it all exciting.
Yes.
Why were you thrilled by it? Why were you addicted to it? Like, that was really weird about being a teenager and crazy hormones and all that. But I felt like it was some weird situation. But anyways, and I have one more.
You have another line from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
no, I don't. It's just the chorus that I wrote down.
Okay.
But that wasn't my favorite lyric.
I mean, I think that's relatable in all, I don't know. Maybe I find it all exciting. Like, just the keeping you on your toes. And like, I think people stay in toxic relationships for a reason, you know, because of these things. Like,
for the game,
they find it interesting. Their minds are moving, you know, like, it doesn't make it healthy. No. Doesn't make it right. But
it was in some fun toxic way. It was exciting.
Yeah.
Weird. Your thoughts.
Relatable. Hashtag
relatable.
Hashtag relatable.
Tell us how you feel.
Do you want to read us the chorus? Was it important?
Oh yeah, the chorus. I guess we can read it. It's because it's 1 step forward and 3 steps back. I'm the love of your life until I make you mad. But like that's also relatable too. Like
the conditional love.
Yeah.
That can sometimes really be present in young love, I think.
But it's like my relationship could drop at a dime. Like literally like until fragile. I made him mad. It was very fragile that it could just end. And that was really scary.
This is very interesting. I was just doing some like Googling about young love to see if there's anything I don't know, noteworthy on the internet, psychology or whatever. And this was, I think, in Psychology Today. And but this is about young men that fall in love. It says, often young men seem to fall in love harder, perhaps because they are more starved for emotional intimacy than young women, who often have enjoyed it with close female friends growing up through the years.
Interesting.
Young men may not have been used to opening up emotionally, sharing with anyone, least of all male friends. In high school, young men in love who are jilted can be more deeply hurt than they let on, and less likely to seek emotional support, and more prone to retaliation too. So I feel like it is relatable. Like, I mean, honestly, even like with Joshua, like my Joshua, not Joshua Bassett, not to be confused. But I'm one of the only people that he's really opened up to in life. And that's obviously absolutely not true in my experience. You know, like I've had so many friends and we share those memories. And I think a lot of the issues with like young men is they don't have culturally permission to talk through feelings with other people, and so they get like loaded on young women to be like, now hold all of this for me, and that's a lot. Young love's weird. Just thought it was an interesting note.
Is an interesting note.
Interesting bit. Next on the docket is Deja Vu. Another Vi song, which means viral. We keep saying that, trying to make it a thing. It's not. The YA community knows what it means.
Fuck you, Rach.
I wonder what the title of this episode's gonna be called.
I wonder.
Okay, this is really this. I just love this lyric. Okay. I bet that she knows Billy Joel because you played her Uptown Girl. You're singing it together. I bet you even tell her how you love her in between the chorus and the verse. This to me is so eerily personal, right? It's a song that they listened together. Maybe she showed it to him, you know, or they clearly had that, you know, musical thing going. They're on High School Musical together. They sang together all the time. And she clearly remembers him telling him that, you know, he loved her in between the chorus and the verse. And this whole song really is them doing things together
that they did. And,
you know, her saying, like, do you guys do this together too? Do you guys do this? Do you have deja vu? Do you think of me? And I just love this album because she makes things so personal and somehow still relatable, which is really hard to do. I've never had an album that has felt like I bet that she knows Billy Joel because you played her Uptown Girl. Why do I love that lyric so much?
Right.
Because it's a banger hard.
Yeah, but also hard. Billy Joel's relatable. She went back she went back to a classic. Everyone knows Uptown Girl.
Uptown girls, she been living in uptown world. Na, 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 na.
Backstreet Guys.
There, just change the key.
Yeah. Yikes. Can't sing. Rach can sing. Ain't for me. No, but that's good. I feel like there's other songs that she talks about this, but it's just like doing the same things with someone else that he once did with her. And that's really hard in high school. There's only so many things you can do. You can't make new things yours. Like you can't make Steak and Shake at 2 a.m. everyone's.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like that's literally all we got, you know?
Yeah.
It's if it's I don't know.
Those matchstick fries. Paired
what
perfectly.
Are they?
Matchstick little
shoestring.
Oh yeah, that's more right.
Whatever. Same thing.
Whatever, Jess. Thank you for the correction. I am taking that note.
Yes.
So yeah, love that song. My throat has been hurting quite a lot since this album came out because I've been singing it the other day. Yeah, well, the other day meaning yesterday. Josh and I were coming home from All You Can Eat Sushi, which God is another story that I did not tell. But basically, we did not understand the rules. We did not understand the assignment, not even the rules. We just.
What do you mean? Sit down, order sushi, leave. That's the assignment. Indulge.
You put in the order, and it's like you can't picture how much food's going to be on your plate when you order it.
Did you overdo it?
Oh, we overdid it. The waitress came back and was like, "Hey guys, are you sure?" And we were like, "Yeah." No, we had 4 to-go containers. The sweet angel did not charge. You have to chart. You have to pay for what you don't eat. That's the thing. You have to pay for what you don't eat.
Yes, Rach, like in any other restaurant.
Right.
Your leftovers. You ordered the food, you take it home.
No.
They don't take back what you don't eat and be like, we don't.
I know, but you have to pay. So like the all you can eat sushi is like $25. Every single piece of sushi you have to pay for.
Oh, so it's not. Oh, I didn't understand. It's an all you can eat.
Exactly. It's confusing. But luckily she cut us a deal. But we literally probably should have owed $25 each in extra sushi. Like I'm telling you, we like had like 3 to 4 rolls each that we just like couldn't touch. It was a disgrace.
That means leftover sushi though.
Well, right, but it's like I got to eat that all today. So I've been all you can eat sushiing all goddamn day. All day. Okay, number 6, Jess.
Which is
Good For You.
Good for you. Okay. Everyone knows this one.
Everyone knows For You. I don't buy that it's a Misery Business knockoff.
No, I'm not buying that either. They're not the same. I get that it's angsty like Hayley Williams does, and there is a little alt pop in this album, but I think she does it in a different way.
There's space for 2 people to exist, okay?
Right. Here's the lyric. And good for you. I guess that you've been working on yourself. I guess that therapist I found for you, she really helped. And now you can become a better man for your brand new girl.
Oh, how many women have put in the time with someone only for them to be.
What a dig. Yeah. Also, like, good for you to be in therapy.
Yeah, thank you. As the therapy police, I
had to plug in the therapy police that you're instilling that upon someone and wanting what's best for them. But I just thought that was like the ultimate dig.
Oh yeah,
and like I'm glad that
the therapist I found for you. You didn't even find her. Mm-hmm. I went on WebMD and I found the therapist for you.
I went on BetterHelp. Please sponsor us. Please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us. We will accept. But yeah, I think it is a frustrating thing for people to put in the work with someone only to have like them break up and then see them, get married, flourish. And it's like,
But do we really know that? It's just things seem that way. Every time you see, you break up with someone and you think that their life gets better. You don't really know the story. People don't change that much. So what you know about them, trust and believe that they're still very much that person. Could they have bettered themselves? Sure.
Right.
Are the odds high? No. Not as high as you think that they are. I mean, like just not as great as you think they're doing. But good for you.
Yeah. And I mean, really, we're all just human beings on a path trying to get us all to get to a better place. Like I talked about that with Josh. Like, although the idea of us breaking up makes me physically sick, I don't care to think about it. It's too much. But I know that if that were to happen, we've played like a big role in each other's lives that was important.
We're all
just trying to help each other grow.
We're working on excellence. Yeah. We're running through the 6 with our woes. Do you know that that's what woes stands for? Working on excellence. Running, like from the Drake. Running through the 6 with my woes.
With my working on my excellence?
Yeah, with people around me that
work on
that are working on excellence.
We are all a garden. Sometimes we're the seed. Sometimes we're the mold.
Okay, moving on. Next one. On the docket.
Number
as Rich
7.
keeps referring to our docket.
Our docket. Next on the docket. I've got a clipboard. I'm official.
What are you, Joe?
Number 7. Enough for you. The lyric.
Is this yours? Oh, I thought I had this.
Yeah, number 7.
Okay.
You're number 8. You're happier. Did you pick a happier one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we can both pick the lyrics that we choose. Okay. Well, what if we chose the same one? That'd be awesome.
That would be just awesome, wouldn't it?
Just awesome, Jess.
It's so awesome.
I'd say you broke my heart, but you broke much more than that. Now I don't want your sympathy. I just want myself back.
Of course I fucking picked that lyric. Are you kidding?
So good.
So good.
Olivia,
that's how she knows she's wise beyond her fucking years.
Wise beyond.
You're so
Do you have a writing companion? Do you need
but
one?
here's the thing. Can we acknowledge that she writes her own songs?
Yeah.
Sheesh. That's why Swifties been real quiet lately since Sour came out.
Have they?
It's just a joke. That's what, like, something. Do you know what I'm saying?
We're not going to hate on anyone else. Okay?
We're not. I'm here with the Swifties.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up idolizing T
Did
Swift.
you?
Oh yeah, Swiftie.
We love to see it.
She's good.
I've been sleeping on Swift for a long time now. But
it'll hurt you. Be careful.
I mean, even this lyric, like, although the overwhelming experience I can't relate to, like this specific lyric, like I would say my heart was broken in just like the neglect that happened in my marriage, and I just wanted to be back to myself. That's like the worst feeling, is when there's like a sadness within you that you can't explain, and you can't, like, it can't just disappear, and you just want to get back to who you were, and it can be just crippling. What are your notes?
What are your notes?
What's on your paper, Jess?
Can I see your paper?
Can
I see your answers? No, I put that lyric and was just like how bomb dropping that is, and how dope that is to just like not want your sympathy. I just want myself back. Like I don't want anything from you. I want to put myself back together.
So good.
I also thought this was a notable lyric on that is something I felt really, really strong about in high school, and just these are very high school like teenage like feelings, was I wore makeup when we dated because I thought you'd like me more. I liked if I looked like other prom queens I know that you loved before. You need to be someone really in society standards pretty and in makeup. Like I pounded on makeup in high school, and I barely wear any now, but it's just like that was really strong for me in high school.
And I think everyone can relate to making yourself just like slightly different. And when you do find a relationship, and honestly that relationship is out there in some capacity, if you find a relationship where you can be 100% yourself,
I'm talking farting on each other.
Yeah, it feels. I'm talking farting big sharts on each other.
I'm talking looking at each other is worse. It is real. But here's the thing, you don't even think about it, okay? There's hope for us, and that is that, like, I do not care what I look like. I never think that I have to wear makeup for this person or look a certain way. That ends sometime out of high school, but I get that those are very real feelings when you're going through that.
Yeah.
Insecurities be higher than hell.
I know.
It's hard.
If you feel insecure around your partner, take a peek
in that relationship and level up.
Like Sierra.
Yes. Thank you for getting that. Okay. Next up on the docket. Is what? I don't know. I don't have
happier.
Okay. Ooh, I like this one. As I find it. And do you tell her she's the most beautiful girl you've seen? An eternal love bullshit you know you'll never mean. Remember when I believed you meant it when you first said it to me, and now I'm picking her apart. It's the now I'm picking her apart for me. You be dogging girl, your girl's new girlfriend or boyfriend, and you're like, damn it, what does she have that I didn't? There's no reason for that. I also just love that when she swears.
Yes.
This is like,
drops
go
the F-bombs, baby.
Yeah, an eternal love bullshit you'll never mean.
I know.
Dogged his character. Like,
I mean, she
dogged
saw
him
a bad side of his character.
Dogged him for being like, an eternal love bullshit. Because you didn't mean that shit with me. But it's also, why we do it as teenagers. Why do we promise eternal love? I was really weary of that.
Yeah.
At first. And then was like, once I was in this relationship for a long time, I was like, oh, this could be forever, you know?
Well, I think a lot of that is just being in love for the first time and like not going through a breakup and just being like, I don't think I can live without you. It's that like overwhelming feel. Yeah, the dependency. And even if things aren't healthy, even if things aren't good, it's I don't think I could live.
Isn't it wild to think back on now that we promised each other eternal love?
The world.
We're just, I'm gonna love you forever.
Yeah.
And ever. And you're gonna die being this person for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, we were 16.
I mean, I remember, so I was in like a abusive relationship in middle school, which seems really weird to say because you're fucking 13 years old, but it was really bad and scary. And my whole family, like I was hospitalized. It was bad. And so I'm very wary to call that my first love because it was so toxic, and looking back on it, you know, hard. But I remember being in the car in the 8th grade because I couldn't drive. I didn't have a cell phone. It's fucking 2006. Like screaming to my mom, like, we're gonna get married. You don't know. We love each other. And I'll show you. And you don't support me. Like, I just remember, like, I remember exactly where we were. We were by the Domino's in Kent, right next to, by the movie theater. I remember just, like, crying and being like, why would you take me to his house? Like, because it was this, like, we're not together. I don't know what he's doing. Like, it was this, like, overwhelming.
But I believe that to be very much of what we felt.
Oh, yeah.
There's no negating.
Mm-mm.
I am validating that experience 100%. And those were real feelings.
Yeah.
And I do feel like when we were young, it was a very overwhelming, all-encompassing feeling of love, of this is my life. I am head over fucking heels with this dude.
Yeah.
There was no, excuse me, microphone. There was no in between.
No. There was no balance. And I think that's really the key with like young immature love is like balance does not exist on the whole. Like you don't know how to balance your own life. Your life is just up in the air, right? You're living at your parents' house under someone else's rules and you're feeling these feelings and like your body is going through so much emotionally. Like as a woman, until you get pregnant, I don't think you go through that kind of hormonal change. Mm-hmm. And it's intense and crazy.
Yeah.
And you're falling in love. You're trying to build a life.
Right.
Like
you're so young.
Right. And I mean, my wedding from this past weekend, like my couple had been together since they were 17 or 16. Beautiful. Right. Mm-hmm. But like, they didn't leave it in the young love. You know, they went to college. They lived their lives. They grew together. And that's this thing of like being young and in love and in high school, and you're just kind of stuck where you are. It's really hard to grow. And, you know, young love.
It's also like what I said to you before was like, you have nothing to reference it on either. Mm-hmm. You know, your first love, your relationships in high school or whatever. It's like you're figuring that out and how to date and how serious it should be and what does serious look like, what does committed look like.
And you're seeing all these TV shows and movies about kids, like, you know, fantasies of kids your age falling in love
and getting married and doing all this. And like, you have nothing to reference it, you know. And now when you're dating in your 20s and 30s, you're like, I'm going to chill on that. We're going to call it, like, let's try for that situationship.
Oh.
Like when you're older. You know what I mean? There's different
Well, I feel like a lot of you know, people talk about how it's really hard dating when you're older and nobody wants to make things official, and you know, it's because we're all fucking scarred from these high school ass relationships.
You ain't wrong.
We were too serious.
So we're just like, let me pump the brakes on that.
Yeah, pump the brakes real quick. Take a look around.
Take a peek.
Do I like myself? Do I want to be in a relationship? You gotta figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do we got next?
Next on the dock. Number 9. Jealousy.
Not our favorite.
Not our most favorite, but still, I'm not gonna skip it. I won't skip it.
She called this a no skip album.
It's a no skip album for me.
Jeez, I only say that about Drake albums. So,
but this is just an all around very relatable lyric. I want to be you so bad, but I don't even know you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just societally very relevant.
Everything we look at.
Yeah, that's
influencers, celebrities, our ex's new boyfriend or girlfriend or partner.
Yeah. And you don't even know them. You don't even know where they're going through. You don't know what their relationship is like or what their life is like.
You have no idea who these people are. Anybody.
No. And it's so weird. I think it's like a testament to our brains how we can just absolutely make shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And we can fantasize about what someone else's life is and assume it's better than ours.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not reality, dude.
It ain't. But it's actually, that's such a true lyric. I feel like it's just, it's not reality. And you know what? Their life is not as great as you think it is. Okay.
No, none of it. Like, I mean, I think it's really important that that celebrities like Lizzo has been really open about her depression and struggles. And I know she gets shit for it because people are like, you're rich. What are you fucking complaining about?
But
and
that's not. That doesn't
rich
matter.
does not equal happiness or contentment.
Never has. And as much as people want to try to have
struggle paying her bills,
right?
Like it's
the one stressor. There's other shit going on though.
And I think it's so crucial that people of influence have these honest and real conversations with followers and people about like, I'm not happy and I should be. And what does that say? Like, yeah, I'm not happy and I should be. And I'm doing all I can, but it's not like life isn't like you talked about with fuck happiness as a destination. Like there's nothing you're going to do in your life that's just going to get you there. Mm-hmm. Like nothing is going to get you there.
Yeah. It's not becoming famous. It's not selling that multi-platinum album. Like those struggles still follow you wherever you go. It's not.
At the end of the day, Olivia Rodrigo is still fucking heartbroken.
Yeah.
I mean, she got a profit off of it, so get that bag, sis.
Yeah.
But that's not going to heal her heart.
Right.
Like, that's going to be something she has to work out.
I just love how deeply you feel for her.
I do.
It's like you just went through it with her.
I love it. I love everything she's doing with the place.
Okay, what's next? Favorite crime?
Yes.
Favorite crime. Here's my lyrics. Know that I loved you so bad. I let you treat me like that. I was your willing accomplice, honey. Here's another one that I thought tied into that. All the things I did just to call you mine.
Oh.
All the stupid shit we've done.
Or changed or tried to do just to keep the shit floating.
Yes. Oh, that is the epitome of young love. If you ask me, you be doing stupid shit all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, I just thought that would hit home. Yeah. I feel like that's so relatable to our YA community and to people. Or just in general. I feel like you try to fit a mold upon meeting someone. I just keep in this microphone. Get out of my way. Just to be someone you're not for someone else. Yeah. And we got to cut that shit out, people. Authenticity is
so important. But what's hard is when you're 16, 17 years old.
You don't know that.
Who the fuck are you?
You don't even know.
Figuring it out. I think you like to think like when it's not right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like I was the epitome of like any boyfriend I had, just like chameleon, right? Just be like, oh, you like this? I can like that. Like Frank Sinatra, I can like Frank Sinatra. Like bullshit. It's like what? Mm-hmm. But
you know what's the worst is when you see it in someone else. Like even in recent years, and not only when you're young, but like I feel like when we were young, we were all doing it. But I think we had a pass because we were literally just trying to figure out what we liked. Mm-hmm. But I think it's the hardest when you see it in a friend and you're like, that ain't you.
That ain't you.
Isn't that annoying?
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's just like, no, I'm going to try to hold you accountable and to like for you to be you. But it's like, I don't want to see you change for someone else. Nobody wants to see that.
No.
It doesn't look good on you.
No. As I am the person and friend that would change for other people, which is really weird. Well, I change for Dave. I almost slipped. That's the first time I ever slipped. It's in my brain. But yeah, it really was like all the things I did just so I could call you mine. Every hobby I tried, like I tried rock climbing. I just wanted to be relatable. I wanted to be interesting. I wanted to be everything that he wanted me to be. And spoiler alert, did not work. Because you can't keep up a charade forever.
No.
Make that one of your next lyrics, Olivia. Charade. Okay. Last one, finishing out, closing down, cooling off. Number 11. Hope you're okay. Now this is a bit of a left field situation. We're not talking about Joshua anymore. We're almost going back to number 1, which is just teenage angst,
brutal
teenage experience. Mm-hmm. It's like it cups it back. To it being more about like social outcasts and like people that she's known that have been in bad situations, abuse, and like, you know, girls that have come out and their parents haven't accepted them, things like that. And the lyric I really liked was, I hope he took his bad deal and made a royal flush. And I think
I love that, because you always hear that, like, you got dealt a bad hand.
Oh yeah.
And people do. It's not anyone's fault.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like,
yeah. I think about that with like my partner now. Like, I think he grew up in a hard situation and just something very different than I grew up in, which was, you know, like growing up in poverty and in, you know, lower income communities, and just like the repercussions of that and how that kind of affects your family structure. And he has a wonderful family, and like his family loves him, and like there's nothing to do with that, but it's issues I never had, right? It's like I've never worried about paying rent, or like, you know, like I got divorced and I got to run to mommy's house. Like I realized how fucking privileged that was. Like not everyone is so lucky. Like I have a friend right now who is not so lucky to have a falling back point. Like it can be super crippling. And it is one of those things, like I think we can all think of people in high school that, like, you know, that you can think of that were like, man, I hope they made it out. I hope they made it out all right.
Yeah, like I knew of your situation. I see you. Yeah. Might not have been best friends, but like I see you. I recognize you. I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice salute.
Yes.
Is that the right salute?
Salute.
No,
sure.
I think that's what I was trying to say, but it doesn't make sense. Whatever.
You said it confidently. I wouldn't have questioned you.
Okay.
But it ends,
notable.
I'm pretty sure, I haven't Googled this, but I was a really big Avatar The Last Airbender fan. And it ends with Appa's theme. It's really quiet, but I can hear it on my Sonos speakers in the studio.
Really?
Yeah. The
yeah.
Yeah. It ends with that. I'm almost certain. I should Google it. Before
but
I
that's
came
cool
on
if
here.
It does. Because we don't. Yeah. We don't fact check.
You know, it's just a shout out to the anime kids. Olivia bringing it full motherfucking circle.
Love it.
We love her.
We do.
I hope that this was interesting for you guys. Please let us know, because we would absolutely love to do more like pop culture-y, just like fun.
Yeah. Album reviews if you want them.
Yeah.
And literally, I just heard this on my way here and really dove deep all day. So you don't have to know Olivia to love her.
No, but we hope you love her now.
Yeah, we do.
We hope you stan.
Do you stan?
We stan. To the YA community, we salute you. We love you.
We're here for you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Like, follow, heart, download, all of the things. As always, it's Jess and Rach. This is For Better and Worse podcast. We out.
We'll see you next week.